What's the best way to clean and store your tools when they're covered with epoxy? Well, that's what we're going to explore in this video. So what I've been using so far is some of this 200 proof denatured alcohol whenever I need to clean one of my tools, and I just use a paper towel with some alcohol on it and wipe it off, and it works pretty well. But what if you can't clean your tool right away, or if it's a very elaborate cleaning like some of the pin rollers? I've seen a lot of videos where people will use acetone, and so I want to test to see if acetone will work well or if alcohol will work well. Now, I'm running low on the denatured alcohol, and I have some isopropyl alcohol. I think these are different. I'm not quite sure. The denatured alcohol says that it is ethanol, and the isopropyl alcohol is 99%. So this is not quite the isopropyl alcohol that you will use or that you can find in your grocery store. Usually those have a lot more water content. But I have the 99% isopropyl alcohol that I've put in this container with one of the used brushes that I was using to spread on the epoxy recently. And in this container I have a brush that is soaking in acetone. Now, acetone will also dissolve a lot of different kinds of plastics. So one of the things you always want to do, you'll notice that the acetone comes in a metal can. It's the safest way to store it, but it's not always available. So anytime you want to store or use anything plastic around acetone, always make sure that it's not the type of plastic that's going to be dissolved. Acetone will aggressively dissolve certain types of plastics. So I have a bucket here with a screw-on sealable lid. So this is an airtight lid, and that will screw on there. This is made out of HDPE, and I've tested it to make sure that the acetone does not dissolve this bucket, so that's good. So depending on the results of the test, we may be putting acetone in here, or we may be putting isopropyl alcohol. So what I've done with these brushes is I've just lightly scraped off some of the epoxy and then just put them right in these containers with the acetone and the isopropyl alcohol. I didn't do any elaborate cleaning or anything like that. So let's see, I'm going to open these up now and see what is the result of storing these in acetone or isopropyl alcohol. Let's start first with the isopropyl alcohol. So let's open this and get a napkin and take this out and see what the results are. So, and it looks like the bristles on this are completely stiff. So storing this in isopropyl alcohol did absolutely nothing to protect this brush. Now I was going to throw this brush away anyway, but this shows that storing this in alcohol did absolutely nothing. The epoxy cured, so even though, well, I haven't actually tried cleaning the tools right away with isopropyl alcohol. Like I said, I've been using the denatured alcohol, but definitely storing this in isopropyl alcohol did absolutely nothing to protect it. So now let's take a look at the acetone. And let's see, oh, look at this. The bristles on this are completely soft. So this definitely dissolved the epoxy. There was no epoxy setup whatsoever. So that means that I will be putting acetone in the airtight bucket and storing my tools in the acetone. That is definitely the way to go. So that answers that. Once and for all, even though alcohol might be useful to clean the tools initially, it does nothing to actually dissolve the epoxy. So the only way to really store your tools that have been covered in epoxy and be able to use them again later is to use acetone. Alright, that'll be all for this video. Bye.